Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, just Daf It. Today's Daf is Kesubos, Samach Beis, number 62. We have an amazing share for you today. We're going to talk about more about the mitzvah of Ona. A man's obligated to be with his wife a certain amount of times. More of the details about that. And principally, we're going to be talking about how long a husband can stay away from his wife. Can a woman give her husband reshus, permission to stay away from her for a long time? There's some interesting stories on Samach Beis and Beis where big Rabbanim stayed many years away from their wives, including the famous incident of Rabbi Akiva. We will not get into it today. We'll start that tomorrow. Let's get into it. The bottom of Samach Aleph and Beis, the last line, Talmidim Yotzin l'Talmud Torah, Shelo B'Reshus, the Mishnah says they can leave for Talmud Torah, leave their wives for Talmud Torah, Shelo B'Reshus, seemingly without the permission of their wives, against their will. The wives are protesting. They say, I got the Mishnah, I got 30 days. So the guy has the B'Reshus, Kama. If she gives permission, she says it's okay. How long can they leave for? So the Gemara says, obviously, Kama the boy, how much however he wants, how much they agreed upon. I can leave the rest of my life. That's it. He's gone. He's learning Torah. The Talmud Chacham is a gadol, but his wife is taking care of the kids. Orcha de milsa kama. So the Gemara says in Simon Bezim and Aleph, Orcha de milsa kama. What's the normal way? So Rashi translate Orcha de milsa derech eresh lisa lafchet vafilu hu yachol lefatosa shetitin laroshus. Meaning, what's the derech eresh? That's the normal way of doing it. What's the appropriate way? Right? Article translates it's proper to leave one's wife, even if you can convince her against her will to give permission. Sounds like most of the time your wife gives permission. It's not in her interest. She really doesn't want to, but she's in a position of weakness as a wife, so she has to do whatever is good for her husband. That's what she's taught in seminary. How long? Amarav Chodesh Khan v'Chodesh Babayis. A month here in the base medrash, and a month in the house. 1 month she's away, he's away. 1 month he comes home. Shneimar l'chol davar hamachlokos haba v'ayotis chodesh b'chodesh l'chol chodshei hashana. It says there was division in Klal Yisrael. Every tribe would serve for a month at a time. The fact that it adds the word chodesh b'chodesh comes to tell you about other workers that were hired on a monthly basis. They were, for 1 month they were doing whatever David needed them to do, and the other month they were home. Rabbi Yochanan argues Chodesh Kan v'Shnayim bebeso. For every month that he's away, he has to spend 2 months in his house. Shenemar Chodesh Yu b'Levanon and Shnayim Chodashim bebeso. The workers for Shlomo HaMelech, when they were building the Beis HaMikdash, 1 month in Lebanon, in Lebanon, they had to get the raw materials for the Beis HaMikdash. The arazim, the cedar trees, are really good in Lebanon. That's actually the flag of Lebanon. It has a cedar tree on it. Shnayim Chodashim bebeso. 2 months they had to be in their house. Rav Nami my time l'amar mehei. Why didn't he learn from the pasuk of Yochanan? Shani binyan beis hamikdash de'efshar yidei acherim. When it comes to Talmud Torah, you're the only one responsible for your greatest in Torah. Beis hamikdash, you could be 2 months at home. Because right, it's efshar yidei acherim. Yochanan my time l'amar me'ahi. Why didn't he bring from Raz pasuk, which seems that right you have to be home not as frequently? Shani hasam de islay harvacha. The reason that by Shlomo HaMelech they were able to stay away for 2 months because the wife would have wanted that, right? She's getting extra money. They got paid big bucks to build the Beis HaMikdash, so she's going to have a lot of extra money. Harvacha. She's not going to live with Simsim. She's not going to live with a tight budget. So she's happy that he goes there for 2 months. Talmud Torah. These are the words of the article. What does the article say? The article says. The wife of a Torah scholar, on the other hand, might feel that she has nothing to gain from her husband's mitzvah. It's her husband's mitzvah, Talmud Torah. Right? As much as the husband wants to convince his wife, you are getting an equal share in my Torah. Like Rabbi Akiva famously says in tomorrow's Gemara, Shali v'shalachem shalah belongs to her. But as much as you try to convince a wife that she's going to get your equal share in Olam Haba, it doesn't really resonate, on a practical level with a woman or really with anybody. Future ambiguous reward with practicality. It's hard to match those two. I'm going to talk more about this in Iyun Ben Sion. What exactly is going on? Does a wife really have the right to be mochel on her own, mochel on the time he spends away? We'll talk more about that in Iyun Ben Sion, coming up in the Iyun Shir. So Is there she can get money. When it comes to Talmud Torah, though, right? She might get extra schar, but it doesn't mean so much to her. Amar Rav, Anocha Shaveres Chatzi Gubo Shel Adam. Another machlokes between Rav and Rav Yochanan. He says if you sigh, if you groan, it breaks half of your body. If you become despaired. You person, when you have enough, when you groan, it'll break your loins. Your loins, half your body, meaning from your loins and down, from your waist down. Breaks your entire body if you despair and you give up. He asked him, why are you groaning? And he said, because I heard this bad tidings. His heart will melt. His hands will be weakened. His entire spirit will be diminished. Your knees will become water. Why didn't he learn from Rav's pasuk? Yes, the whole body is broken down. It starts from your waist. Says your entire body will be consumed. Shiny Shmua, the Beis Hamikdash Kifa Tuva. There, it's talking about when you hear Beis Hamikdash, that destroys you because you lack the Beis Hamikdash. It's a really harsh reality that we live in the world of Golus. A Jew and a non-Jew were walking together on the road. The Jews were known as supreme athletes. They ran the 4-minute mile. Roger Bannister, a Jew. He wasn't Jewish. Couldn't keep up with them. You wanted them to slow him down. Remember the Beis Hamikdash? Remember you're in Golus? Nagid v'isnach. When he heard about it, he groaned from all the pain he was going through. Nonetheless, the non-Jew could not keep up with him. Apparently, the non-Jew learned this Gemara. He said it breaks at least half your body. That's if you tell me something sorrowful, so bad news now. New news. The Shananba, we're accustomed. 2,000 years we've been living in Golus. Someone who's accustomed to unfortunate circumstances in their life, they're not shocked when something happens. And the mission says that if you're a Thailand, someone who strolls around, you're obligated in Ona. You're in every day, every night. We're not going to talk exactly what Ona is today, the difference between Tashmish, Hamita, and Ona. I will get to that soon. In the Ian Shir, even Ben Sia, not today. But this is what we're talking about here. Thailand, they're obligated in Ona. Just suffice to say, Ona basically is the bare minimum of bedroom activities that you have to literally be together with your wife. You could even do it anally. That fulfills. Ona literally means to cause pain to your wife. Causes pain, but sometimes when you cause pain, it actually relieves a need. So our basic needs is to be together with our husband. Foreplay and other things in the bedroom are extra things which are guaranteed by the Kesubos, but not on a level of Doraisa. So they obligated Thailand to do it every night. I'm a Rava B'nai Pirkei. Who are these Thailand? Rava says they're the people that go to Yeshia, the Pirkei. They go here a shir every day. They go to Yeshia every day. They come home to Ramayat Eshkol. Gotta be their wives every night. I'm like Abai. Man dechsib hu shav lachem eshkim yikum acharei sheves olch lech matzavim ken yiten liyedido sheina. Amar Rav Yitzchak. What's the interpretation of this pasuk? Elin nishol seina shel tamid chachamim. This pasuk is referring to the wives of tamid chachamim. Shemanadidos sheina mineim olam hazeh. It says Ligadido Shena. They interpret a lashon of sleeping. They withhold sleep from their eyes to wait up for their husbands who come at 1 o'clock at night, because they have nights that are long nights that are, even during Shana Rishona, right? And they get Olam Haba. Adamart Bnei Pirkei. You're going to say that Bnei Pirkei have an obligation when they come at 1 o'clock at night. They have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning for a minyan. You can tell me they have to be together with their wives. I mean, that could take like 5 minutes. How long should it be in the bedroom? How long should your bedroom activities be when you're together with your wife? I think the consensus is, if you ask women how much they would prefer, between 20 minutes and an hour. I've seen the survey being asked to different women. That's basically what the consensus of women. A man should last in the bedroom between 20 minutes and an hour. At least 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes, you're hurting the woman. So they can't do it. So Adamar Pnei Pirkei El Amar Abai Rav, like Rav. The Amar Rav can go Rav Shmuel Bar Shela. Shmuel Bar Shela was a teacher of young children. Teacher in Cheder, taught 3-year-olds. He ate his own food. He drank his own drinks. Vegani betulu dapane. He lived in his little house. No one was collecting taxes for him because he didn't reach the threshold of taxes. He wasn't earning enough money. As a school teacher, we know how little money they earn. That's the type of person that should be with his wife every night, because how hard is it to teach 3-year-olds? You know, you don't have to teach. You don't have to prepare so much for your daily lesson. Yes, Rav and Rav came. Mark, you going to Mafan Kedem Rav. Who else is included in these Tayolin? Mafan Kedem Rav, the luxurious people from the west of the world, United States or Eretz Israel. The luxurious, the Americans, they make Aliyah to Israel, right? And they get by on their in-laws, their parents, paying for their 8,000 shekel a month rent in Ramat Eshkol. Those people, not the ones that are in Shir, the ones that are drinking coffee all day. Those are the people that have to be together with their wives every day. Kiasa Ravin, we did that. Rabbi Baba was in the bathhouse. He had 2 servants, 2 gabonim. They were helping him out. Ifkis bebani mitose. Apparently the floor fell out from underneath the bathhouse. This Ramale Amuda, he was able to grab onto a pillar. Salak Vaskinu, he was able to climb up out of the bathhouse, and he held the 2 servants, 2 gabonim, held on to him. He was strong enough to lift not only himself out, but also the 2 of them hanging on to him. Rabbi Yochanan was kasalak with darga. Yochanan was going upstairs. I was samkele Rav Ami Ravasi, where's gabonim? They were following after him, asking him halachik shilos. If this a darga tote, a step fell out. Salik Vaskinu, he was able to grab on, and he picked them up to the next step. Amr the Rabbanan v'chimachar dahaki lamalei l'smismechei. You're so strong. Why do you have to have people to support you, to help you walk? If I don't save my strength when I'm younger and have people help me walk, what's going to be when I'm older? I'm not going to have any strength when I'm older. The workers, they're obligated in Ona twice a week. The Bryce says only once a week. If they're working out of town, so they're only home for Shabbos, let's say. So they come home for Shabbos. They spend the whole week in a different town working on a construction. I don't know, whatever they're doing, or they're a singer and they have a singing tour and they're away. So they come home for Shabbos. So that's only once a week. If you're working and you're coming home every night to your house, so that's Shtayim Shabbos. The reason it's less than a Tayolin is it's physically demanding work, so you don't have strength for every night. It's only twice a week. When do we say they have to do it twice a week? When they're working in their city and they come home every night. If they work out of town, they come home only once a week, then it's only once a week. If you're a donkey driver, so you're only obligated once a week. The Mishnah says, right, that according to Beis Hillel, he says, I'm not going to be together with you for 7 days, right? Yotzi v'tein ksuba, he has to give her a ksuba, divorce her, right? Where's that halacha? It only really applies by 2 cases in our Mishnah, by a tayel and a poel. A tayel is obligated every day, a poel twice a week, right? So there, he's threatening her by saying, I'll only do it once a week, but everyone else, the minimal obligation is once a week. So by threatening her that he's not going to be Tashmish Hamida for once a week, he's not doing anything significant. Some of these people, right, safonim once every 6 months. So you say, I'm not going to be through for 7 days. Who cares, right? Amar lay, low, top of Sinal Beis and Beis, low akulahu. Really, Beis Hillel's statement is going on all the cases in Mishnah, where it says, V'hashish kadashim gamar. One of the safonim, people who travel on boats, they travel overseas, they're involved in shipments, supply chains, they're away for 6 months. They're allowed to be away for 6 months. So what does it matter if he says, I'm not going to be together for 7 days? You're not going to be 6 months. It should have to be 7 months. The Gemara says, no. When he says, I'm not going to be together with you for 7 days, so that's she doesn't have bread in her basket because he's taken away the possibility of her being together with him. However, she has pas b'sala, meaning if he's working, he only comes back twice a year, but there's still a possibility. There's still pas b'sala. there's still a possibility he might come back tomorrow, and therefore she'll hope for that, and she won't be so distressed. However, if they're 7 days, that'll ain't possible. So I have to explain ain't possible. This Gemara needs further explanation, and to explain, because really the answer, the Gemara, I think the answer is that Tashmish Hamita and Ona are two different things. How do you fit into the words of the Gemara, possible, Pashem Basal? That I'm going to leave for a different day. Amalei Rabba Rav Chanel Abayi Chamer V'Nasa Gamal Mai. Let's say you're a Chamer, a donkey driver. You're obligated once a week, and a Gamal once every 3 months. What does it say in the Mishnah? A Gamal, once every 30 days. You're a Gamal. You're a Chamer. You're obligated once a week, and now you want to, in the middle of the marriage, right? You got married to her. She asked you, "What was your occupation?" I drive donkeys. I'm sick of driving those donkeys. I want to drive a camel. I want to upgrade to a camel. Right? I was driving a Chevrolet, but now I want to upgrade to a Tesla. I want to upgrade to a Roadster. So, can he do it or not? So, the article explains, the Rashi explains this, that meaning without asking permission. If you ask permission, according to Rashi, that's for sure okay. We're talking about without asking permission. Can he change his Ona? Can he get a different job and change his status of Ona? Meaning where he's going to be together with her less frequently. No, the mindset of a woman is, even if you make more money, right? A Gamal maybe is a higher paying job. She'd rather have less money and tiflis, be together, be around her husband, physically intimate with him, than a sarakab and be very rich, right? Even though it's a better job with precious and not be together with her husband. Meaning, basically, if she doesn't give him rishus according to Rashi, he has no right to do that. I'm going to explain Iyad Ben Sion. I don't know if this is the explanation. I think even rishus, right? When a woman gives you her permission, it's not necessarily she's giving you permission. So, Hasafanim, people who go on ships, overseas, they're only obligated to own once every 6 months. Amarav Bruna, Amarav Halacha Kirlezer. Halacha follows Rabbi Lezer, not on this halacha, what he said before, that Talmidim can go only away Shalom B'Rishus for 30 days. Amarav Bar Ava, Amarav Zudi Rabbi Lezer. That's the opinion of Rabbi Lezer. If they want to go away, even their wives don't agree. All right, 2 or 3 years. I don't know when you say 2 or when you say 3. I don't know. Maybe the woman really needs it, so then 2 if she's okay with it. I don't know if she's more of a giving nature than 3. Shalom B'Rishus, even against the wife's will. Amarav Samchu Rabbanan Rada Barava. The Rabbanan relied on this opinion of Rada Barava. Avdi Uda Ben Ashayu, and they risked their lives. We're going to see that they actually were punished on account of leaving their wives for too long. Ki had Rav Rechumi. Rav Rechumi have a shchiach kamei the Rav Mechuza. You'd like to go to Rava's yeshiva in Mechuza. Have a ragil da have a askil beise kol ma'al yom kippur. He didn't stay away for 2 or 3 years, only 1 year at a time. He'd come back at Erev Yom Kippur. Yom Echad Mashchase Shmaisa. It was Erev Yom Kippur. He was learning a lot. He's supposed to eat a lot at Erev Yom Kippur, but he was eating and learning at the same time. Have a maske de bisao. His wife was waiting for him. Hashta asi. She's hoping, is he going to come now? He's going to come now. Loasa. He didn't end up coming. Chalash daita. He stayed for Yom Kippur in yeshiva. Yom Kippur in yeshiva. The highest day of Kedusha. You got to be the longest davening. You got to be in yeshiva. Dach nafshe. What happened? So, Chalash daita. When she realized he wasn't coming home, right? She became depressed. She became disheartened. Achis demasa me'ena. Tears began rolling from her eyes. Haviyasiv be'igra. At that time, he was standing in the attic of the base medrash. He was learning Basma. The ifchis igra mitose. The roof caved in. V'nach nafshe. He died. Ona shalem idachamim emas. Talmid Chacham. We haven't talked about big rabbanim. Talmid Chachamim. How long? When do they have to engage in ona? How often? Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel Erev Shabbos. Simply the Gemara says once a week, right? And it tells you the preferred time is Erev Shabbos. Now it doesn't say Leil Shabbos and Leil Shabbos. It says Erev Shabbos is Thursday night, Friday. Right? It's talking about Thursday night is the ona for the Nechamim. I don't know where everyone gets that it has to be Friday night. The Gemara says Erev Shabbos. Asher Period Yitain Beito. Amar Rav Yehuda V'Temer Rav Huna V'Temer Rav Nachman Zem Shamash Mizatam Erev Shabbos. Sure, Period Yitain Beito. When a person is together with his wife, he is pru or vu, right? So that what he lets out from his Avra is called pru or vu. Semen is called pru, So that has to be Be'ito in the right time. What's the right time? The right time is Erev Shabbos, Thursday night. Some say Friday night. Most people say Friday night. Yehuda Breder Rav Chia Chasnei Rav Yana have Azel v'Yastiv v'Bei Rav. Yehuda, the son of Rav Chia, who was the son-in-law of Yana, he went to learn in yeshiva. V'chol Beis Shimshei have Asil Beis. He would come home, like the Gemara says, maybe it was a Talmud Chacham. He would come home every Friday. V'chi hava Asi hava Kachazi Kamei Abudu Nura. His wife would expect him. She would see a pillar of fire that preceded him. Yom Echad Mashchase Shmaisa. One Friday he was learning. He was engaged in a long sugya. Kevin Lochazi Havu Simona. She didn't see the pillar of fire. Amar Lahu Rabbi Yanai said to his daughter, Kafum Mitasu, right, turn over his bed. Shalmal Yehudikayim Lo Bitel Onaso. He would never forego his mitzvah of Ona. He would for sure come back for Shabbos. He must be dead. Havik Yeshkaga Shiyotzim L'fnei Hashalit. Even though he wasn't really dead at that time, the fact that he said he's probably dead, that sort of caused, I don't know if exactly say it caused him, but it was like, because he said the words, it was a factor in him dying. He ended up dying. Rebbe Askli Rabbi Chia, Rebbe wanted to marry his son off to the daughter of Rabbi Chia. When they're about to write the Ksuba, the girl died. Rebbe Chas Shalom Psula Ika. Maybe there's a psul in the family. Maybe there's some Amzeris over there. They trace the genealogy of the families, the ancestry. Rebbe Asim Mishiftia ben Vital. Rebbe came from David. Shiftia was a son of Avital, who was the wife of David. Rabbi Chia Asi Mishimi Achi David. He came from the family of David, but from his brother, so it wasn't direct descent from David. So therefore, he saw they were unfit to be married together. Azal Azik Lebrei Bei Rabbi Yossi ben Zimra. Upon this girl dying, he had to marry off his son. He took his son to the daughter of Rabbi Yossi ben Zimra. Paskule Tarti Sari Shnin. They agreed upon, right? He's going to go learn the Mazel of Bei Rav, to go learn in yeshiva for 12 years. Ach Lefua Kamei. Before they agreed on the contract, he met her, right? Amar Lahu Nahavi Shishnin. I'll go learn for 6 years. She was beautiful. He wanted to marry her. 6 years. Achlafu Kameh. They passed her. They met again. They had a second meeting. I don't know if it's allowed in some circles. They met a second time. Amar Lahu Ifnis Bahadar Aizal. First, I'll marry her, and then I'll go for the 12 years. Havakam Mirsef Me'avu. He was embarrassed of his father. Talmud Chacham, he's so worried about the materialistic things of being together with his wife. Amarle b'ni das koncha yeshbach. He says, don't worry, you're thinking like Hashem. Mikarak siv tiviemu v'tiviemu. Originally, Akash Baruch Hu wanted to bring them into Eretz Yisrael and build the Beis Hamikdash. Eventually, Hashem said, you know what? Just let's have the Mishkan right away in the Midbar. Azal Yasiv Charte Sarishni, so I guess he got married, and he went 12 years to learn Bebeirav. Ada Asa Yakr to be so. The time he came back 12 years later, his wife was barren. She was unable to conceive. They went to the doctor. She said it's impossible to have a child. Amar Rebbe, Haichinavi, what should we do? Or Nigrisha, should I tell my son to Megarish her? My son wants to have kids. He wants to have a chush of a family. He wants to have kids. Yomra Aniya Zul Shav Shimra. They're going to say bad things about this girl, right? She's a poor little girl. She got married. We were together the first night, and then he went for 12 years. She waited for nothing. Ninsiv Issach Risa, if he marries a different woman to have children with, has 2 wives. Yom Rezu Ishto Zuzu Nasa. This is his wife, and this is his mistress. Of course, a bad thing to have a mistress. Boy Allah Rachameh B'Tzayis. The only option left for Rebbe was a daven for her that she shouldn't be barren. And she was healed. She was able to have children. Miraculous here. B'Chananya ben Chachinai Havak Azel Beirav. Chananya ben Chachinai was going into the yeshiva of Rab Shilei Eluli to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. At the end of the wedding of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he didn't want to stay for the last dance. He wanted to go right away back to yeshiva. Amalei Yaakov li'ad Asi ba'adach. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, "Wait for me, Rab Chananya. Wait for me until I finish my Sheva brachos." And say until eventually Sheva brachos, maybe the end of the wedding. And Rashi says, "Sof Yumei Chupaso," the end of the Sheva brachos. It doesn't say that. It sounds like that. Wait for the end of the wedding, and I'll come with you, right? Of course, the woman's mochel on a Sheva brachos, she can mochel, right? What happened? So, he didn't wait for him. It wasn't a good friend. Also, Yosef Trey Sari Shani Beirav. This Chananya Mechanina, 12 years he spent in yeshiva. The Asi Shanu Shvili Damas, when he came home, the past, the streets have changed. He didn't know how to get to his house. Also, Yosef Agudid Nahara. He sat on the bank of the river. Shamal Hi Ravisa. He saw they were calling a girl. They have a Karla Bas Chachina. They were calling a girl Bas Chachina, the daughter of Chachina. Bas kachina imali kulasich, fill up your jug with water. V'tanezel, and go home. Amar shmamina hayravisa didan. He must be our child, right? We raised our child. The father's saying our child. I mean, his wife raised her for 12 years. He was sitting in base medrash, our child. Azal basra. And went after. Avayasiva de Bisao Kanala Kimcha. His wife was sifting flour. She was raising the kids by herself for 12 years. Imagine that. I mean, 12 years. It's pretty sad. Dal Ena, she saw him. Chazise Savi Liba Parach Rucha. She saw him. She was astonished that he actually came back. I have a husband who came back in 12 years. Parach Rucha, she fainted. Amar Lafan Ramon Shalamania Zu Zuskar. This is her reward. She gets boy Rachmi Allah B'chaya. He's able to resuscitate her. Rabbi Chama bar Bisa, Azal Yasef Tresar Shneim Ben Rasha, the son of Bisa. He went for 12 years in the base medrash. Yasa Amar Lo Avik David Ben Chachina. He heard the story Ben Chachina. His wife fainted. Ayal Yasef Ben Rasha. When he came home, he sat in the base medrash. Shachal Base. He sent a note to home. Asar a note home, informing his wife that he'd come home, so she shouldn't be shocked too much by seeing him. Asar Yeshaya, Yeshaya. He didn't know at this point was his son. Yasef Kamei was sitting in front of him. Avakamasha Leishmaisa. He saw this big rabbi coming back. He was asking him questions about the sugya. Chaza the kamis chadish ma'isa. He saw that this guy Rabbi Yoshai was very sharp. Chalash daite. He had a weakness of mind. He was upset. Amar yahave hacha havali zara kiyahai. If I would have stayed home, I would have been able to raise my son and teach him Torah like this person. Ala Beise, when he came into his house, Albrei, his son Rabbi Yoshai came. Kam kameh. He was a big Talmudic scholar, so he stood in front of him. Who's sovereign the Mishalei Shmaisa? He thought he was coming to me, ask me some shilas. He asked me about the sugya. I'm related to be told. His wife said to him, Mika Abba the Koyim Makame Bray. Right? He's your son, right? You're a father. Is there a father who stands in front of his son? Karli Rabbi Chama, when he found out it was his son, who was this big rabbi. Achuda Shulash Lameher, Zeri B'Shai B'Nosh Rabbi Chama Bar Bisa. Right? A rope of 3 strands will never break. So he had the grandson Bisa and his son Rabbi Chama and Rabbi Yoshaya were 3 links in the chain, 3 generations of Talmudic scholars. From then on, it was guaranteed, like the Gemara in Bava Metzia, the family will always be Talmidei Chacham, like the brisker, right? Anyone who meet a Soloveitchik, they're always teaching Torah. That's the conclusion of today's shir. I hope you enjoyed. See you in Ian with Ben Sion. We're going to talk more about this concept of mechila, that a wife could potentially be mochel her ona. Can she be mochel her ona? Some say it's obvious she can be mochel her ona. Let's hear what Ben Sion has to say, and here's Ben Sion coming up next.